Yo. Back in the building. Welcome back to the live stream, Tokyo Stoner. We're going to be doing another Nioh build video. Updating the early game Katana and Dual Katana build. Doing a mid-game version. So this is for Katana, Dual Katana. It's called the Onimusha Musashi. Alright, let's go. Alright, cool. So, first things first. I switched out, before I was using Tokage Maru, I switched it out for a mantra sword. Main reason why, I found a star cutter when I was farming. I'm going to show you the location to farm in another video. But yeah, star cutter. It's got the imbue water inheritable. So if you see this little symbol, this arrow symbol, next to an ability on a weapon, it means it's inheritable. So once you get the familiarity, this thing here, once you get that to maximum and you go to the blacksmith and soul match it, you'll be able to pass on these abilities to other weapons. Do you know what I mean? So that's a super OP thing to have. So yeah, imbue water, basically through using the correct spirit guardians, it allows you to activate a whole bunch of buffs. So I'll demonstrate those in a bit. You got, for the dual swords, I'm using the Demon Horde. That's DLC, but you can use any other weapon, like any other dual sword that's high level. The main reason I went with this is because it's got the anima bonus for the grapple. So every time I grapple an enemy, I'm going to get anima bonus. Anima is becoming more and more important part of the build. And it's really OP in this game, so make sure you're acknowledging the anima. Again, look, high attack key consumption. This is a new thing that I've got, imbue purity. I was lucky with that roll. Purity is pretty good. I think it wrecks yokais. So I don't need to use the talisman anymore. Life drain, high attack, that's pretty OP. Here I've gone with imbue water, and then to add that I've got increase the rate at which you build up saturated. So saturate is water attack, water element, sorry. And the way water works is each attack you do, like each subsequent one, so say you do a 10-hit combo, each attack is going to do more damage than the last one based off of the water effect. That's how it works. So you build it up each time you attack, and then look, damage bonus, familiarity. So all of that's based around damage. I had to hit the blacksmith to make something that would accept the imbue water, because my Tokage Maru, it wouldn't accept imbue water. It had too many stats already. So I went with mantra sword because it's got the melee key damage, and that was the sickest ability. It had the highest base damage. So yeah, range is so. You know, try and get stats that are going to give you things like, look, damage versus revenants. That's pretty cool. Ranged attack up and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, just make sure you got a high damage, high level, range. So when you're picking off enemies, it works. Armor, again, like, this is for mid game. So just to give you a sense of where I am, I've cleared the 3rd region completely. I'm just about to get started on the 4th region. And this is the setup I used to dominate the 3rd region and, you know, 100% all of like the little side quests and whatever. I still haven't used any kind of real set, like armor set. I think something that I'm trying to get into is the Ganryu. So Genryu. In my early game build, I referenced some other stuff, but from what I've seen, I think Genryu is the most OP shit. So I'm probably going to be working towards that. But for now, I'm just focusing on heavy chest pieces, heavy leg pieces, and then decent gloves, helmet, trousers. It's kind of balanced out at the minute where I've got these heavy gloves, but it's doing the job. It's keeping me cool. What kind of stats are we going for? I've got Onmyo power, other realm resistance, and then luck. You look, ninjutsu power, elemental damage taken, life. Like, that's all OP shit. And look, melee damage versus yokai, OP shit again. Attack plus 14. I just rolled that today in the blacksmith. So to get some of these stats, you do want to hit the blacksmith, and you want to scroll down to temper. Then select the piece of gear you want, and so basically you'll get a chance to scroll through. Say you want to swap out defense, select defense, and you'll be able to trade it in for a different skill. So make sure you're hitting the blacksmith and you're going to temper on your decent pieces of gear to get these OP rolls. Look, Onmyo magic power, dodge key consumption, and this is some new shit I just came across. Faster winded recovery. This means that when you're stunned, because you've run out of key and you've been hit, this is going to help you get out of that stun status quicker. So it's purple. That's how you know it's an OP stat. So, you know, don't have to say no more. I'm pretty sure I got that on something else. I thought I did, but oh no, I've got it on one of these, I think. There you go, look, on one of my accessories, faster winded recovery. So I've got it on there twice. I'm not sure if it stacks, but for now I'm rolling with it. Shuriken kunai damage. I started using the shurikens and the kunais because, like I said in the first build, they are OP. So I've worked them into the build. Ki, you know, here everything is pretty whack. That damage taken is insignificant, poison resistance, whatever. But Ki, faster winded recovery, is OP. Anima charge, again, super. I'm trying to get everything focused on anima charge at the minute. Amrita gauge charge is cool, but I've done some testing, and the living weapon, you can't get it like in the first Nioh. You can't really get it to extend for too long. So I think anima build is way more viable than a living weapon focus at the minute. All right, let's go through these shortcuts. So I'm using Kekai, Carnage, and Steel as my main buff. So anytime I'm about to encounter a tough enemy, I'm going to hit up Kekai, 1 Carnage, 1 Steel. And the main reason I've gone for Steel is just to balance out the debuff. When you use Carnage, your attack increases, but your defense goes down. Steel should pretty much cancel that out. So when I'm against the enemy, I've got these 3 debuffs set up. So that's 1 Sloth Talisman to slow them down, 1 Weakness Talisman to lower defense, and then 1 Devigorate, and that's to bring their attack down. Here's a kunai setup. So you got shurikens at the bottom, kunais at the right, storm kunais on the left. So they're all easy. On the right, you've got the jackfruit to recharge your anima. On the left, you've got the heron. Down, you've got poison shurikens. So they're all like special attack type things. And you'll notice on all of them, I've still got elixirs as the up. So no matter what page I'm on, if I press up, I'm going to get a heal. Let's see, Guardian Spirits. I'm using Makami still as the main. I've completed the 3rd region now. So if you've completed the 3rd region, I recommend you use Tengen Kujaku as your 2nd. And, you know, you can swap it into your main as well if you've unlocked all of its stuff and feel comfortable to do that if you want. The main buffs on this are stance based and Ritter bonus. So look, if you're in a high stance and you absorb and Ritter, you get attack. For mid, you get defense. And for low, you get key recovery. And, I mean, you absorb and Ritter all the time. So you're constantly going to be getting buffed. If you're using the kunais and stuff, look, you get anima bonus based on a range hit. The extended elemental weapon for me, for this build, it doesn't really do much, but for you it might do more. I mean, if you're constantly buffing your weapons with elementals, the anima bonus elemental attack's great because, like I said, on the single sword, we got the imbue water. We managed to get that stat. I mean, you could use heat items to put water on your sword if you haven't got an imbue water sword already. So, again, cool. And then this is just a sensor. I mean, that's more for fun than anything else, but there you go. If you don't have Tengen Kujaku and you're still in the 3rd region, you can use this, Yaonami Himi. You hear me? Based on the water, if you got water on your sword, this is going to give you anima charge. The more attacks you're doing, you're going to get life drain. And you're going to get an anima bonus the more you build up the water effect on your enemy. So this is pretty OP as well if you go with the water sword technique, like I'm saying. If you don't have either of those, I think Okuri Inu, this is OP as a secondary because you get the Amrita gauge charge as a passive, and the Rokugezu because you get the toughness as a passive. So they're good secondaries as well. But I would say really you want Yaonami Hime, and then really once you've cleared the region, get the Tengen Kujaku. Right. Skills, I'm pretty sure skills are basically the same as before. I'm just going with the melee damages. Yeah, look, melee damage, grapple damage. Again, haze 2. Shadow strike is OP, damage from behind. Final blow damage. Yeah, increased key. Quick draw, sword of celebrity, sword key. So all of those are the ones I've gone for. I know I went through that kind of quick, but I've gone through them in more detail in the early game build. That'll be linked in the description. Again, this is the main thing I'm working for. So I got 3 points. I need 3 to unlock it. So I'm waiting until I can unlock this flowing shadow. Cool. this in the first Nioh was super OP. This, you know, with the dual swords I use Windstorm, with single swords I use this. So once I've unlocked the right dojo mission, again, anytime you see it, your thing say cleared mission with a question marks or anything like that, it just means there's a dojo mission you haven't unlocked yet. So you have to progress through the story and then come back and clear the mission. Cool. With the dual swords, we got, yeah, passage to the afterlife, increased grapple damage, increased final blow damage, Windstorm, Water Sword, Cherry Blossom. Again, like in the first one I went over how OP Cherry Blossom, you know, the single sword has a similar technique where you press triangle at the end of the combo. Super OP. Yeah, this is pretty cool. God of Wind, I mean, have a look at it. It's pretty cool. You press triangle at the end of the combo just to extend. I don't use that much, to be honest, but I do use this God of Wind. When I said that Demon Thrust, I don't use that too much. Some of these skills at the bottom are pretty cool. Shadow Strike, Mind's Eye, they're pretty OP. I got this just now, Relentless, Sign of the Cross 2. Yeah, so some of that stuff is cool. I'm holding points off on that for now. With Onmyo, I have, since the early game build, almost all points have been focused into Onmyo and Ninjutsu. So you see a big difference here. I went with Extraction and Pleiades, but I noticed they were trash, so I wouldn't really recommend them, to be honest. I'd say Carnage has been doing good for me. Weakness has been doing good. I've been using Steel Talisman, Sloth Talisman, Barrier Talisman. Again, I want to show you, if you see these yellow arrows above them, that just means you can do it again. So look, you can spend points on these things to buff them up, to increase how fast you can cast the spell, and also how expensive the cost is when you're preparing your jutsus. So that's important to notice. If you see a yellow arrow, it means you can level it up to make it more effective. So yeah, those are the main ones that I've been working with. Oh, and Devigorate's pretty good too. So yeah, Weakness, Devigorate, Barrier, Carnage. Shit is cool. Rolling. Alright, banging. What's next? What are we gonna look at? Shifling. With here, again, like I said from the last, focus on anything that reduces depletion. And also this one here, I've maxed it out now. The Dark Within reduces the penalty when you're in the Dark Realm. I've got that on maximum. I think that's super useful. And since last time, the main things I've focused on are, here they are, things that add elements to the attack. So I've got Fire Element, Poison Element, Water Element, and Lightning Element. So that's going to imbue certain yokai attacks with these crazy elements to get even more damage and even more debuffs on the enemy. We've done Ninja, you know, we haven't done Ninja yet. Onmyo, Samurai. I don't think I've touched the Samurai skill tree, to be honest. The main things here I just went for was Running Man. Yeah, I haven't even needed to touch this. Flux, from when you got that stuff, you're pretty good to go. Ninja, cool. So once I maxed out my Onmyo, I went for Ninja. So I did Shuriken, Kunai, Storm Kunai, Poison Shuriken, Shuriken Shooter, right? And again, I got some spare points, so here's an example. Look, you can buff the speed. Again, look, Jutsu cost is going down and the amount preparable is going up. So that's a good way to buff. If you got one skill that you're really focused into and the rest of the tree is useless, you can buff that stuff. This is also OP. Ninja Tool Mastery increases capacity by X amount depending on the level you got. My one's maxed out, but that's worth investing into. In fact, Onmyo has one of these as well, but it's all the way down at the bottom and it's really expensive to get to, and there's not much good stuff on the way. So for Onmyo, it's right down here, and I don't know if it's even worth unlocking, to be honest. Maybe end game, but yeah, Ninjutsu 1, nice and convenient right there. Again, Flaming Heron's my favorite. I got them all just so I could get Quick Change. Quick Change is insanely expensive in this one, so I'm not using it, but you know, eventually I'll have enough space to get that into the build. All right, let's see what else is going on. Skill customization. Let's see if anything's changed. Morning Moon, Quick Draw, Sword Key. quick draw, sword key, haze. Right. Now, here's something that I learned since the last video. You see here, you got these symbols. Next to morning moon, you can see you got these little green circles. Down here, there's none. Right, so if you hit square, you can see you got these abilities you can select. So you can decide where you want to put these buffs. You unlock these buffs in the learn skills thing, I'm pretty sure. I mean, these ones I don't really care for. Imbues with XXX element. I might use them at some point, but the main thing for me at the minute is key damage dealt, damage bonus based on stamina, damage bonus based on magic. And these are still good to have, so that's why I unlocked them. I mean, they're worth having. All of them are worth having. You never know what kind of build you're going to go for, but these are what I'm going with at the minute. You hear me? Magic damage, stamina damage, and increase that. So it depends on which stance you're using the most and how you want it to go. Whatever are your most favorite, but you press square to unlock this menu. So you go into the skill, hit square, this menu is going to pop up, and then you can add these buffs to the specific attacks. Shout out to my bro Escanor for showing that to me. And then the same here, you can see I've already added the buffs here. You hear me? So you press square to select those buffs. Cherry Blossom, Sign of the Cross, Windstorm, Mortal Flow, Demon Frost, Sign of the Cross, God of Wind, Jewel Dragon, Sign of the Cross, Mortal Flow. Jewel Dragon's crazy, man. It makes it really opens up the low stance and make the low stance combo. The low stance combo is almost not complete without this attack. I feel like it's really OP. Wrecks enemies, wrecks their key, so make sure you get that. That I don't think we had that in the first video. God of Wind, pretty cool. And if you get God of Wind 2 and 3, it extends the combo into extra slices. If you get the just frame and all of that, banging, really good. Again, sword key, haze with the sword of celebrity is pretty good. While I'm waiting to unlock that ability I was talking about earlier, sword key's doing a good job in the meantime. If you hit square afterwards and do the sword of celebrity, it's doing pretty good. I don't find myself using Heaven's Flash all that much, to be honest. Haze is still good, sword key, Crick Door is good. And Morning Moon is OP as usual. Alright. Status. Now, I'm level 91. That's just because I got carried away the other day farming that Obsidian Samurai stage. I'm going to do a separate farming video breaking down how that works. But, I mean, I've been running with this build from the whole way through. And it's effective from, say, maybe level 50, 60, 70 onwards. It's rolling. So, you know, don't get put off by the level. You're good to go. What do you want? Again, look, 28 heart. That's the same amount of heart we had from the early game. So heart, stamina, strength, skill are basically untouched. Once I got everything to these nice levels, I just went straight into magic, which is now at 30, and dex or ninjutsu, which is now at 24. Main reason for that was to increase the capacity. Once you get these up to 30, your capacity is going to be capped unless you unlock those skills I was talking about. So basically, yeah, you want 30 magic, 30 dex. That's what I'm working towards. Also, that increases the effectiveness, so that's going to make your kunais do more damage, going to make your magic buffs sort of stronger or last longer, etc, etc. So that's been the main focus. Once you're comfortable and you feel tanky enough and you feel like you've got enough key from buffing heart, stamina, strength, skill, etc, and constitution, once you've got that nice and rounded and you feel comfortable, you got a good build going on, dump into magic, dump into dex. I went straight into magic first because, like I said in the first video, this whole thing is the mystic, samurai, swordsman. Do you hear me? So you need the magic. That's the key core of the build. And the dex was mainly just to get the kunais on top because they're just so OP. You know, there's no point not having it. It makes farming runs easier. Can get you out of some sticky situations. Now, I kept some points here. so I could demonstrate what kind of stuff I'd like. So when I'm in the Agyo, let's see. Amrita earned? Nah. Soul Core? Nah. Anima? Nah. I mean, increasing the anima is not really of any interest. I think what's more of interest is increasing the rate that anima recharges. I'd rather go with Other Realm Resistance. Yep. Anima Charge. Yokai Ability Damage. Other Realm Resistance. Ability Damage. Extended shit. Look at these OP things. Elemental Damage taken. OP. Anima Charge. Yep. Elemental Damage taken. I didn't even use any of these kind of trash stats, so forget that. Onmyo, gold no, equipment no, elixir no, life, yeah, key recovery speed, yep, Onmyo magic power, yep, ninjutsu power, yeah, key. See, these are the kind of things that I go for, things that are actually gonna make a difference when I'm fighting, when I'm playing the game, when I'm fighting enemies and stuff like that. Cool. So I'm gonna go for a quick run to demonstrate some of the things I explained in the build, just so you can see how they work in action. Secondary spirit. If you got the Yao Hime, so you can see my anima, that's the purple gauge. If you don't know, the purple gauge lets you do your yokai skills. It's only half full, right? And my sword that I'm about to use, it has this imbue water stat on it, right? So I'm gonna attack this guy. You're gonna see my anima is gonna fill up because I'm gonna be doing elemental damage the whole time, right? I should have let him damage me, to be honest, so you could see, because I'm also getting life steal. So I'll let this guy hit me. So if you got this as your secondary, you can use it when you run into a tight spot. Let's get a little more. Shimon, fool. Alright, cool. Let's go. See, so I'm getting life back and I'm getting anima back. So if you've got this as your secondary, you're going to get life steal as a passive. But if you run into a tight spot, you can also use it to get anima refill and life steal as well. So it's pretty good. I feel like on long missions where things can be a struggle when you're running out of items and stuff, that's always good to have. You press R1 and L2 to swap your guardian spirit if you didn't know that, right? And when you're here, you press R1 to swap between. So that's your primary, secondary. I'm gonna swap back to Tengen because this is the one I've been using. Again, like I was saying, this one's pretty OP. You get all of these anima buffs and life drain buffs. But with Tengen, you get anima bonus based on elemental attack. So I feel like I'd much rather the anima bonus than the life steal, because the life steal is not really as big a difference as the anima bonus. That's a substantial buff. Do you get me? I mean, and if I swap it to a main, I'm gonna get, let me just demonstrate that shit quickly. If you make Tengen the main, you're gonna get all these other things like extended elemental weapon, stance based Amrita bonus, anima bonus, which is all pretty good. So yeah, cool. I've unlocked this shortcut. Now hopefully this is gonna go well, because again, as much as this is the build, you will still get wrecked. I mean, this is the type of game where just as quickly as you pull up on an enemy and you get wrecked, you can come back the next time and defeat them in the same amount of time they beat you. You know, it's like real samurai shit. The whole fight's over in like 10 seconds most of the time. Anyway, let's go. So yeah, I'm gonna go into this Yokai Realm. I've defeated this level before, but to be honest, I've completely forgotten what's in here. I'm just gonna run through it, do my best not to die, and look cool and stylish while I'm doing it. And that way you'll get to see how the build works in action. Alright, let's go. Just like last time, but a bit more leveled up and a bit more challenging, so let's go. So I just hit all of my buffs. I'm gonna roll with my debuffs ready. Let's see what we find. So again, it's these big enemies that are gonna be causing the trouble. Use the yokai shift ability. Get that counter. Get that grapple, sorry. Now what I should be doing, I didn't show you this, but because my dual swords get my dual swords get an anima bonus. Damn, son. Now what you want to do is with the paralytics and stuff, I haven't got them equipped at the minute, but you can still have them ready. So if you're on a mission and you notice that there's a lot of paralytic enemies around, let's get that potion. If there are a lot of paralytic enemies around, you can equip, just throw it back in, take out the poison shurikens and put in an antidote, or put in a paralytic needle, and that way you'll have a counter for those debuffs. But I've noticed that the debuffs were not super regular, if you get what I mean. In the first and second regions, there were parts where they were kind of cheesing you with it, but later on it's not so regular. So it isn't a problem to just go through the menu and pop it. Right, so again, you can see how useful it is to always have up on your potions. So you know your potions, every time you press up, you're going to get a heal. Let's see if we can find this other yokai that's keeping the realm alive. Alright, we didn't find any more yokais, but I'm sure we'll find some stuff worth fighting. So you can see my anima bars already refilled. Again, when you got people at range, I didn't demonstrate it so well in the last encounter. But you just want to strafe. Strafe and wait for the headshot. If your weapons are high level enough, you'll be able to get a headshot even if you got a yellow circle. Again, look, scenarios like this, you don't have to be fighting 10 at once if you don't want to. I mean, sometimes there's times you want to fight 10 at once, but it's not necessary. You can see I've run out of arrows. This is a good scenario because you get to see this in real life all the time. When you're playing, do you know what I mean? It's not all the time you have arrows, so this is how I would deal with it. Wreck these tools. Again, I would have liked to have shown you some more yokai attacks, like fighting against some more high level yokais, but I'll probably do maybe a Twilight mission run through or something like that to make up for that. Again, look, you got people like this. Archers are weak as shit, so don't fight them from a range if you don't have to. I only fight them from long range if I'm forced to because they're up high or something. Right, so I didn't even really get an opportunity to use any of the debuffs or anything like that. Let's see. Alright, we got a dude over here, I think. So he don't really deserve it, but we're going to show the techniques anyway. So you got some big scary enemy, you're going to hit him with the sloth. Careful on these bridges. Hit him with that weakness. Oh my god, I gave the weakness to this trash enemy. There we go. Give the weakness to the correct enemy. Hit him with the devigorate. He's completely debuffed now. He's like he's like got pillows for weapons. And then I'm hitting him with the kunai. Counter that. I'm not gonna kill him because I want you to see the storm kunais. Outrageously damaged. Outrageous damage. Do you get me? Crazy shit. So that's how the build works. You got your buff set up here. This is to make you OP as fuck. You got your debuff set up here, which makes your enemies weak as shit. And then you've got your kunais here, which shred. They absolutely shred everything. You get what I'm saying? Right? What else have you got? You got this just for fun. You know, someone's giving you trouble, you shoot fireballs at them. And worst case, if all of these debuff, all of the anima charge strats, you know, based off the water weapon and based off the grapple recharge are not working, you got your lantern fruit down there to recharge. Poison shurikens. And that's it, we good to go. Alright guys, I hope that was helpful. I hope that was useful to you and you're able to put some of that to use in your playthrough. With your katana and your dual sword, with your katana and your dual sword setup. And again, a lot of the principles and stuff explained here are going to be, you know, usable for different weapons. So if you're using a Kasurigama, Switchglaive, any of that stuff, maybe your stats have to get allocated differently, but a lot of the stuff in this game is universal. Alright. Oh yeah, don't forget, as you can see, my Amrita's maxed out. Don't forget to use this. Every time it's at maximum and you're in a difficult situation, use this to help you get out of it. Don't forget about it. Super useful. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. I think mid-game this build's doing good. I'm probably going to do a late game build and then finally an end game build for when we're in New Game Plus. So yeah, we'll do 2 more updates on this, and I'm going to do some other guides like on Ultra Cold Cups and things like that. Just other little tips and tricks that I think are not really explained straight up in the game and that a lot of new players will find useful. So yeah, thanks for stepping by, and peace. Bye for now, guys. Bless up.
Bloodline rich like vintage wine. I'ma drink the bitch's mine. Got a thirst that can't be quenched. Dripping from my fangs of blind. Got a hickey on my neck. Got a life I can't disguise. Harvest moon, harvest moon. People would dance on harvest moon. I was feeling dump on harvest moon. Body in the trunk on harvest moon. Pussy getting slumped on harvest moon. Just for the love on harvest moon. It could be the poison, garden blue. Just for the love on harvest moon. Hey, just for the love.
That's when we step out the spaceship, looking like we just got back from the Matrix. You know we see it, we want it, we take it. Pull up on the stage, everybody going apeshit. Took so much so she could taste it. I give her more if I know she could take it. She needs to fuck every day, that's why I fuck her on the daily. Whole body going crazy, pussy wet like the ocean. I'm just trying to get wavy. She gave me a dose of the potion. The DeLorean doors open, and we just got back from the 80s. Drip dried candy paint in the moonlight, colors changing. Fresh blood dripping from my fangs. So much sauce, you see it dripping from my fangs. Smoking strange fruit, yeah, she just wanna hang, babe. Bang, lightning, I'ma make it bang, yeah. Fresh blood dripping from my fangs. So much sauce, you see it dripping from my fangs. Before she was yours, now she's rolling with the gang, yeah. Bang, lightning, I'ma make it bang, yeah.
Bloodline rich like vintage wine. I'ma drink the bitch's mine. Got a thirst that can't be quenched. Dripping from my fangs of blind. Got a hickey on my neck. Got a life I can't disguise. Harvest moon, harvest moon. People would dance on harvest moon. I was finna dump on harvest moon. Body in the trunk on harvest moon. Pussy getting slumped on harvest moon. Just for the love on harvest moon. It could be the poison, garden blue. Just for the love on harvest moon. Hey,
yeah. And Summers with the lace, Black China with the body, Angelina with the face, cocaine in the safe, throw some liquor in the glass. Nah, I ain't even gonna chase. Yeah, middle fingers to the past. See the sharks in the waves, got some demons in the car. They been feeding for the D. She was trying to hold it in, now it's leaking on the seats. Ghost rider on the roads, got the fire, got the heat. When I finally get it home, she gon' ride it like a freak. Fresh blood dripping from my fangs. So much sauce, you see it dripping from my fangs. Smoking strange fruit, yeah, she just wanna hang, babe. Bang, lightning, I'ma make it bang, yeah. Fresh blood dripping from my fangs. So much sauce, you see it dripping from my fangs.